Good morning everyone, my name is Gagandeep Kaur. We are doing chapter introducing PART-3 and this is our third video. In today's video, we will be covering the topic of data types. So first of all, what are data types? Data type represent the type of data that is stored in the variable. The data stored in the memory can be of many types, and Python has various standard data types based on the type of value. For example, if you want to record your marks, then you will be using a numeric value. If you want to store your name, then you will be using alphanumeric value. So basically we have three data types. The first is integer. It represents the integral numbers which are without the fractional part. That means no decimals and no p by q values. There are three types of integers in Python. First is normal integer. It stores the value of certain range from negative to positive. Then comes the long integer. This stores a value that lie behind the range of integers. That is minus infinity to plus infinity. The last one is boolean, which represent the data which is in the form of true and false. So 0 represent the false and 1 represent true. The second data type is float. It represents floating point value. Integers do not include the decimal value, but float includes the decimal value. For example, 18.0, 3.14, 48.6, even the negative values, minus 3.75, like that. The fractional part of the floating point number may be 0 as well. Then comes the string value. A string data type represents the strings of character enclosed within the quotation marks. It can be double quotes, it can be single quotes. So whatever is written in the single or the double quote is considered as a string value. Now let's move on to the functions which we are going to do in this chapter. The first function is the input function. So the input function is used to accept the values for a variable from the user. To input integer and float values, we can use int or float along with the input function. So we will be doing some programs related to this later on in the video. And the second one is the print function. So print function is used to print the message or the value on the output device. It converts the message or the object into the string before writing it into the screen. It has multiple parameters. So let's do some programs related to these two functions. So let's start with the input function. I'm writing a program. A is equal to input, then enter the value of A. You can see it is asking for the value. Let's give a value here. B is equal to input enter the value of B. The value is 200. Now we are going to give a statement here. C is equal to A plus B, and one command here which is print C. Now you can see here that in the above program, when you add two numbers, you do not give the sum. Rather, the numbers are joined together and are printed as a string. The reason is in Python, input function take one string argument. This means whatever value is being entered by the user, it will be taken as a string argument. So here 100 and 200 both are acting as a string value for Python. So that's why it has concatenated it and written 10020. Now let's do the same program in the script mode using int function. So here you can see that I have written the same program in the script mode, but this time I'm using the int function here. The purpose of using int function is the values are converted to the integers and those values can be added afterwards. So let's run the program. So first enter the value of A, then enter the value of B. Here you can see that the sum of A and B is 68. Here it is not acting as a string value, but it is acting as an integer value. There are some other features of print function, that is, it supports multiple escape sequence to format the output. For example, if I put \n here, then the answer will be printed in the new line. Saving the function and run it again. So again enter the value of B. You can see this time the answer has been printed in a new line. \n means new line. Then we have tab space. In that case, I will be replacing this n with D. Entering the value. Here the tab function has given some spaces between the message and the answer. So when you use tab space sequence as the separator among the values are displayed with a tab space between them. Last is comma. When you use comma operator as a separator among the values are displayed with a space between them, single space, the way it is represented here. These are some escape sequences. This is the end of the chapter. Hope you understand well. Please do all the programs given in the book. Thank you.